Why are American automakers struggling in the world's largest auto market? Well, you might be surprised at the reasons, and get ready because we're diving into the fascinating story of why US car companies are hitting roadblocks in China. Despite ruling the roads in the US, giants like Ford and GM face fierce competition from European powerhouses and local Chinese manufacturers. We'll explore how China's auto industry is evolving through market demands, cultural nuances, and cutting-edge tech. Plus, we'll uncover the roots of this rivalry and predict how it might impact American auto sales worldwide. This journey promises to be one wild ride filled with twists and turns you never saw coming. The global car market is a battleground, and everyone wants a piece of China's action. With its massive population, booming middle class, and skyrocketing car demand, it's no wonder. But American car makers are finding it tough to win over Chinese consumers. Why is that? Just 40 years ago, private car ownership in China was almost unheard of. Most people rode bicycles. Fast forward to today, and China is the world's largest car market. This rapid growth brought huge profits to international car makers, but their future in China looks shaky. The landscape has shifted dramatically, and the rules of the game have changed. Foreign automakers face intense pressure in China, impacting their global standing. They had to accept strict trade rules and share their expertise with fledgling Chinese partners to tap into the vast market. Initially, this collaboration was a win-win, but Chinese companies quickly caught up, outpacing many foreign manufacturers. Today, private enterprises dominate the market, a far cry from the state-controlled industry that was first envisioned. Chinese consumers now prefer homegrown cars, with local brands releasing new models at breakneck speed and at much lower prices. Strong personal relationships between Chinese CEOs and their customers keep local businesses ahead, making it tough for foreign companies to regain their footing. This dynamic is reshaping the competitive landscape and challenging the status quo. Some market analysts believe global companies, especially from the US, should double down despite the hurdles. As Chinese competitors expand internationally, companies not active in China might struggle in Asia, Europe, and beyond. Chinese car sales are skyrocketing, with the country set to export over 5 million cars in 2024, overtaking Japan as the world's top car exporter. Since 2020, China has leaped from the 6th to 1st place in car exports, according to consulting firm Alex Bartner. America, once the 4th largest car exporter, slipped to 6th last year, trailing Mexico, South Korea, and Germany. This shift signals a dramatic realignment in the global automotive hierarchy. Carlos Tavares, CEO of Stellantis, Chrysler's parent company, sees Chinese car makers as their biggest rivals, predicting fierce competition. For global automakers like Stellantis, taking on Chinese manufacturers head-on is the only way forward. This isn't just about export numbers. Chinese automakers are setting new standards for vehicle quality. These new benchmarks are forcing everyone to step up their game in a big way. Chinese automakers are mastering the production of electric vehicles, or EVs, both profitably and swiftly, a challenge for international giants like Ford and GM. They're also churning out new models with rapidity. BYD, a prime example, backed by the Chinese government, surpassed Tesla in global EV sales last year. Tesla's CEO, Elon Musk, even called Chinese automakers his company's biggest competitors, hinting that Tesla might soon be among the top 10 automakers, with 9 Chinese firms close behind. This fierce competition is driving innovation at an unprecedented pace. The Rhodium Group estimates BYD received about $4.3 billion in government support from 2015 to 2020. Beijing has also subsidized EV purchases. BYD's formula for affordable EVs seems unbeatable, even with the US imposing a 27.5% tariff on Chinese cars. For instance, the BYD Seagull, a compact EV, starts at around $14,000, a bargain compared to American EVs. At the Automotive Insight Symposium, an analyst from the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago's Detroit office remarked on the alarming low cost of Chinese EVs, questioning how to slash EV costs by 50%, a feat China has already achieved. Additionally, BYD is ramping up exports, with international sales making up about 10% of its over 3 million sales last year, tripling its global market share. Berenstein analyst Eunice Lee noted that BYD's strong vertical integration allows for unmatched cost efficiency and product innovation, positioning the company to excel in the global EV market. They predict a 29% annual growth in earnings through 2025, despite growing price competition in China. Meanwhile, General Motors' market share in China, including joint ventures, dropped to 8.6% by the end of last year's third quarter, down from over 15% in 2015. The industry is seeing a tectonic shift in favor of nimble, innovative players. At the Chicago Fed's Auto Conference, Mark Wakefield of Alex Partners highlighted that new energy vehicle brands in China have surged ahead. They boosted their market share from 26% a few years ago to over 50% in 2022, and are expected to hit 2/3 by the decade's end. Chinese companies are spreading into Mexico, Europe, and other regions, mainly through EVs and affordable cars. As of last September, Chinese companies sold 8% of all EVs in Europe, with projections suggesting this could hit 15% by 2025. Chinese EVs are about 20% cheaper than their European counterparts. To counter this, the European Union has started backing its local EV industry. In Mexico, Chinese internal combustion engine cars have jumped from no market share to 20% of light vehicle sales over the past 6 years, making Mexico the second largest market for Chinese-made cars after Russia. The global influence of Chinese automakers is growing rapidly and reshaping the automotive landscape. Chinese automakers have long eyed the US market, but success has eluded them so far. However, they have significant supply chain ties in the US and own brands like Lotus, Volvo, and Karma. American automakers, including GM and Ford, already manufacture some vehicles in China or plan to import them to the US. For example, Ford announced it would import the upcoming Lincoln Nautilus crossover from China, while GM brings the Buick Envision from China to the US. Despite legislative and protectionist hurdles, some experts believe Chinese automakers could crack the US market by using strategies similar to those of South Korea's Hyundai and Japan's Toyota. These companies entered the American market with affordable, accessible cars, gradually improving their quality and safety standards before moving to higher-end models. Stellantis CEO noted it took Japanese automakers around 50 years to conquer the US market, suggesting Chinese manufacturers might eventually do the same. The potential for disruption in the US market is immense, and the stakes are higher than ever. And now we'd like to hear from you. Do you think China will be able to gain a foothold in America? Let us know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe for more.